to share with you a recipe for a salad that I had in France a few years ago. I don't have the actual recipe, I've just kind of made it up based on what I tasted. And it's a pretty simple salad, just a few ingredients, but it's just really lovely with all the different textures and flavors, and every time I have it, it reminds me of my trip to France. It's a Fresée salad, and it's just a classic French bistro salad that you'll get almost everywhere, especially if you're traveling in Lyon, France, which is where I was. They serve this salad everywhere, and I just love it and just couldn't get enough. So I hope you try it and you enjoy it as well. This is my own version. I like to have it cold, but it can also be a warm salad. So let's get to it. Here are the ingredients. I have some washed Fresée salad. If you haven't seen this in the store, you probably haven't been looking. They do have it at almost all the grocery stores with all the other different lettuce. I love this because it just has a really nice texture. It's got the crunch and the little curly leaves, and it's also really pretty for garnish as well. I use a lot when I'm doing catering. I have some bacon that I'm gonna cut into little pieces and cook until it's crispy. And I have some poached eggs. So if you want to know how to poach eggs, you can click on the link in the recipe and it will take you to a separate video that'll show you how to poach eggs.
I have the bacon here, and I'm going to cut it into strips before I cook it. This is the whole package. You will need the whole package for your salad. I just figured, might as well, if I'm getting the pan dirty, might as well cook the whole bacon. I'm sure I would use it for something. Okay, so I'm gonna cook it in a pan. No oil necessary. The bacon has enough fat, but I did heat up my pan first. I'm just gonna move it around, make sure all the pieces are separate. Okay, the bacon's getting nice and crispy. So now what I'm going to do is to take it out of the pan and drain it on a plate with paper towel. But I want to leave the bacon fat in there. I get the last pieces. Now for the croutons. I have some whole wheat French bread here. I'm gonna cut it into slices first and then cut them into cubes. I almost feel guilty about this step, but it's so delicious. You put the bread cubes into your pan with the bacon fat and you cook them until they are nice and crispy. You can also just put them in the oven if you don't want to cook it in the bacon fat, but it's just not going to be as delicious. Okay, it's done. It's looking nice and crispy. Now we are going to move on to the dressing. The dressing's pretty simple. It's a basic vinaigrette, and I'm just adding some garlic to it. I'm going to chop it up. Notice I am using the back of my knife. This is a trick I learned from my friend Charlie. So the first cut, I use the back of the knife. It just kind of crushes it and slices it, and then the rest of it, I use the blade of the knife and just chop it up. Okay. Now I am going to add a little bit of salt, about a teaspoon. Ish, maybe half a teaspoon, and fresh ground pepper, of course, and lemon juice. This is fresh squeezed. Oh my god, please do not buy the stuff that comes in a plastic container at the grocery store. Whisking it to combine, And I'm adding the olive oil, just a little at a time, a slow drizzle. This is so it will help to emulsify the sauce and pull it together. Okay, now we're going to assemble the salad. I have my Fresée lettuce washed and spun dry. I'm just going to chop it roughly. Okay, now I am ready to dress the lettuce. Probably won't use the whole dressing that I made. And remember, when you're dressing your salad, you want to make sure you don't soak it completely, drown it with the dressing. You just want a little, enough to kind of bring that glisten to the lettuce. I'm going to toss it with my hands, best tools in your kitchen. Adding a handful of the crispy bacon and the bacon fat sauteed croutons. Oh my god, it smells so good. And then it gets served with a poached egg on top.
Now we taste. Get a little bit of everything. Crunch, so much crunch in there from the lettuce, from the bacon, from the croutons, and mixed in. There's a lot of fat in there too from the bacon, and then we cook the croutons in the bacon fat, which is totally optional. You don't need to do that. And then we have the nice citrus to kind of break the fat. Oh, so good. Thank you for watching.